Okay, right. Let's get into this. We are literally days away from something massive, a moment that, well, heavy music fans have been thinking about, maybe even dreaming about, for ages.
Yeah, definitely.
This isn't just, another stop on a tour. Nope. We are diving deep into one single historic event, a final, massive farewell that's been kind of building for a long, long time.
It really has.
And the excitement, I mean, you can feel it everywhere, right? It's properly electric.
It really is. And what's so, I guess, fascinating is just how much this one single event actually means. It's not just for the diehard fans, the ones who've been there for 50 years,
Right.
or even the newer ones. This is like a defining moment. It echoes through the whole history of heavy metal itself. We've dug through, well, a ton of sources, and they really lay out all the key details of what's about to happen. It's not just saying goodbye. It feels like this carefully planned, full circle thing for the band everyone basically agrees started heavy metal. Exactly. The true creators. It makes you think not just about their songs, but, their whole impact.
That's it, exactly. So
Yeah.
what we're doing here, our mission, if you like,
All right.
is to pull out all the crucial bits, the surprising stuff, the real story behind it all, and maybe most importantly, that deep emotional feeling tied to this ultimate farewell. Think of this as your sort of shortcut to knowing absolutely everything about a moment that people will be talking about for, well, forever in rock history.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to peel it all back, understand not just what's happening, but why it hit so hard for so many people.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the main event.
Yeah.
Because it's like right now, we're talking Black Sabbath's concert Back to the Beginning.
Great name.
Is it? And when I say upcoming, I mean it's set for July 5th, 2025. Today, as you're listening, it's July 1st.
Wow. Just days away.
Literally days away. This massive historic curtain call. The feeling isn't just excitement. It's like the air itself is buzzing. It's almost hard to believe it's finally here after all this time.
And the place they chose for this huge send-off, it's just perfect symbolism. Villa Park, Aston, Birmingham, England.
Okay.
Exactly. Not just any old stadium. It's deep, It's where the band came from. Just think about that. The actual birthplace of that sound.
Yeah.
For them to go back there to where it all started in '68 for the very last show, it just adds this incredible, almost like sacred feeling to it all.
Totally.
It really makes it a full circle for Sabbath. It's like a pilgrimage, not just for the fans flying in from everywhere, but for the band too. Closing the book right where chapter 1 was written.
That Birmingham connection, that's so key, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It makes that name, Back to the Beginning, just hit differently.
Yeah.
But it's even bigger than just the band's final show, as massive as that is.
Right.
This isn't just Black Sabbath's last concert. It's also Ozzy Osbourne's planned final performance, period, on any stage.
Which is huge.
When you think about his legacy, I mean, it's enormous, right? The solo career, the TV show, the health battles he's been so open about, especially Parkinson's. What does this final performance mean for the Prince of Darkness?
Yeah.
It's not just a band ending. It's this unique icon, this survivor
Yes.
stepping away for good. It's almost, well, you can't really imagine it if you've followed him. The emotional weight of that
Yeah.
must be immense.
It truly is immense. It's just charged with emotion. And what really, really hammers home the historic weight of this, maybe more than anything, this is the first time the original lineup.
Yeah.
Ozzy, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward on drums. The first time they've all played together live since the Ozfest tour back in 2005.
20 years. Let that sink in.
2 decades, 20 years of waiting, of hoping, of fans just wishing for this exact reunion.
And Bill Ward specifically, that was always the question mark, wasn't it?
Always. There were reasons, contract issues, whatever, for him not being there before. But for him to be back behind the kit, completing that original iconic 4-piece for the very last show, it's like this incredible gift to the fans.
It really is.
It makes the whole Back to the Beginning idea completely real. It guarantees the story ends with the same guys who started it. It's not just a concert. It's this incredibly rare, powerful reunion that honestly maybe even they thought might never happen again like this. And all that time passed just makes it feel even bigger, a truly unique moment.
Which brings us right back perfectly to that name, Back to the Beginning.
Yeah.
Directly referencing 1968 Birmingham, that industrial city, the smog, the post-war vibe.
Yeah.
You can argue that's what created their dark sound.
Absolutely. It's baked into their DNA.
So this isn't just a gig, it's this deliberately planned homecoming, bringing this huge story to a powerful final close right where it began. It's like a perfect narrative ending.
You don't often see that in rock.
You really don't.
Yeah.
It's designed to be remembered for the feeling, the history, just as much as the music's. Like the whole Black Sabbath universe over 50 years is just aligning for this one perfect moment.
And the demand for this, I mean, it was just insane. Something you rarely see, even for like the biggest pop stars now, let alone a band that's been around this long.
How fast did they sell out?
Tickets for Back to the Beginning sold out in 16 minutes.
16
minutes.
Just think about that, 1 to 6. It's not just quick, it's immediate, overwhelming, frankly, jaw-dropping. It just proves how much this band still means, how desperate people were for this final historic show.
Wow.
It tells you the global fan base was just poised, ready, and absolutely refused to miss out. This kind of instant sellout, especially for a band of their vintage, it kind of defies all expectations for legacy acts.
It really does.
It speaks volumes about that deep connection fans have with Sabbath. It goes beyond generations, pulls in listeners who weren't even born when the first albums came out.
It shows how that feeling of finality can just ramp up demand way beyond a normal tour. It's proof of a truly timeless influence.
16 minutes. That's faster than some massive current pop acts. Blows my mind.
Right.
What that really says is just how lasting, how deep Black Sabbath's impact is, not just on music, but on culture globally. It confirms their status as pioneers, architects of a sound that literally changed rock forever. And it shows their influence hasn't faded one bit. If anything, this final show has just intensified that respect, that collective need to be part of their history. It's a legacy that keeps grabbing new listeners. True innovation lasts,
Absolute.
Okay, so beyond the reunion, the history, the meaning, let's talk about the sheer size of this thing.
Yeah, the scale is something else.
Because this isn't your typical 2-hour show, is it? We're talking a proper marathon of metal. It runs for an incredible 10.5 hours.
10.5 hours.
It's an all-day festival, basically, a full immersion. Kicking off at noon, 12:00 BST. That's, 7:00 a.m. Eastern for listeners in the States.
Yep, 7 a.m. Eastern, bright and early.
And it goes right through until the local curfew at 10:30 p.m. BST, which is 5:3 p.m. Eastern. So it's not just a concert. It's this huge day-long celebration, a real pilgrimage. You're literally living and breathing metal from morning till night.
Imagine the stamina needed for the bands and the fans.
Seriously, it's a commitment, a test of endurance, but in the best way possible.
And to pull off something that huge, that long, with so many amazing artists, they've brought in some serious talent behind the scenes.
Right, like the musical director.
Exactly. Tom Morello, the legend from Rage Against the Machine, Audioslave. He's the musical director for the whole thing.
Wow.
That tells you a lot about the quality they're aiming for.
Yeah.
A musical director for something this big, it's not just about picking songs. It's coordinating dozens of musicians, keeping a cohesive sound, maybe setting up unique jams, keeping the energy flowing for 10.5 hours.
Huge job.
Massive. And Morello's status, his musical knowledge, his range funk, punk, metal, he's kind of perfect for crafting this tribute. His involvement guarantees it's not just a bunch of bands playing. It's a curated musical journey honoring Sabbath. It just elevates the whole thing.
And speaking of unexpected but brilliant choices, Jason Momoa is hosting.
Yeah, how cool is that?
He's known for being a massive metalhead, right? Always posting videos, rocking out. But apparently he was joking about begging for tickets.
Haha, yeah, I saw that quote.
I was begging for tickets, now I turn out to be hosting. It just adds this really fun, relatable angle to it all. Makes it feel more human, Shows, even Hollywood stars are just massive fans like us.
Totally. He brings a certain cool factor, definitely. A surprising face, but it somehow fits perfectly for guiding everyone through the day. You can just imagine his genuine excitement.
Definitely.
And getting into the nuts and bolts, the tech side, how do they actually plan to keep the music going almost nonstop with so many bands? Promoter Andy Coppin confirmed they're using a revolving stage.
Like Live Aid back in '85.
Exactly like Live Aid. Using that concept again really shows the scale and ambition here. For anyone who doesn't know, it means one band can be setting up or packing down on one side while another band is playing on the other. Then it spins around.
Clever. So minimal downtime between acts.
Precisely. Crucial for a 10.5-hour show. It ensures seamless transitions, keeps the music going almost continuously, keeps the energy sky high. Imagine the logistics, though. power sound, the crew working perfectly in sync.
Yeah, incredible coordination.
It maximizes the music for the audience, keeps everyone locked in for that whole pilgrimage experience. It's a pretty impressive technical feat designed purely for the fan experience.
And if all that wasn't enough, the history, the reunion, the scale, the tech, there's also this really important noble cause attached to it all.
Right, the charity aspect.
Proceeds from the concert are going to support 3 really vital organizations, all based in Birmingham, their hometown again.
Which is great.
Acorns Children's Hospice, Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Cure Parkinson's. And given Ozzy's own very public battle with Parkinson's.
Yeah, that last one feels particularly personal.
It really does. It adds this deeply poignant layer to everything. It turns this massive musical farewell into this powerful act of giving back, of community support. It shows that even at this final moment, these legends are supporting the place they came from, supporting people who need it. Just adds so much character to the event.
Absolutely. It's a class act.
Okay, let's talk lineup. Because honestly, it's just staggering.
It really is. It's a dream lineup for anyone into heavy music. A living, breathing history of metal, basically. The band's playing full sets. It's a genuine who's who. You've got Metallica.
The biggest, arguably.
Right. Their presence alone says so much about Sabbath's influence. They pretty much wrote the book on thrash, which came directly from Sabbath's heaviness.
Then Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Stadium Rocks giants.
Showing the massive reach heavy music could achieve. Again, building on what Sabbath started.
Yeah.
Then you have Slayer.
Pure relentless thrash.
The extreme end, tracing right back to Sabbath's darkness. Tool, with their complex, progressive intensity.
Pushing boundaries like Sabbath did early on.
Exactly. Pantera, representing that groove metal dominance. Their riffs are pure Sabbath evolution. Gojira, from France.
Modern, heavy, global.
Showcasing where extreme metal is now. Hailstorm, with Lizzie Hale leading the charge. Pure rock power.
Carrying that torch.
Alice in Chains, bringing that unique grunge metal blend, showing Sabbath's wider rock influence.
Lamb of God.
Relentless modern American metal.
Direct descendants of Sabbath's riffing.
Yeah.
Anthrax, another thrash titan.
So much energy.
Mastodon, pushing progressive sludge. Complex, heavy stuff. And Rival Sons, bringing it back to that bluesy hard rock root.
Full circle again, almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
It shows how Sabbath's influence even loops back to the foundations. It's truly multi-generational. It maps out the whole landscape that grew from that first Sabbath seed.
It's incredible. And then on top of all that, you have the supergroup performers.
Right, which is such a cool concept for a tribute.
It really speaks to how much these musicians respect Sabbath and Ozzy. This isn't just bands playing their hits. It's individuals coming together, probably in different combinations, just to honor the legends. Yeah, imagine the possibilities there.
The jams, the unique collaborations. That's where you get those truly unpredictable magic moments, right?
Exactly. And the list of who's involved in these supergroups is just insane. It reads like a Hall of Fame induction list for rock and metal.
Go on, give us some names.
Okay, deep breath. We've got Frank Bello from Anthrax, Mike Borden from Faith No More and Ozzy's band,
Wow.
Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Whitfield Crane from Ugly Kid Joe, Jonathan Davis from Korn,
Diverse.
KK Downing from Judas Priest, David Draymond from Disturbed, Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit,
Okay.
David Ellefson from Megadeth, Sammy Hagar Van Halen, Montreux's Legend, Lizzie Hale again from Hailstorm,
Pulling double duty.
Scott Ian from Anthrax, Jakey Lee, who played with Ozzy in Badlands, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses,
Icons.
Tom Morello, who's also directing, Papa V from Ghost, Vernon Reid of Living Colour, Rudy Sarzo, another Ozzy and Quiet Riot alum,
Legends everywhere.
Slash from Guns N' Roses, Sleep Token showing that modern influence too, Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers.
Members of Soundgarden, which is poignant, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith,
Wow, Tyler too.
Andrew Watt, the producer who works so closely with Ozzy now, and of course Zakk Wylde from Ozzy's band and Black Label Society.
Just incredible. That list says everything about Sabbath's reach, doesn't it?
It really does. Across genres, across decades, it shows how their DNA is just woven into the fabric of rock and metal. Everyone wants to be there to pay respects.
Now, here's a detail that, for a lot of fans, is maybe the cherry on top.
Okay.
Ozzy himself.
Yeah.
He's going to play a short set of his own solo stuff before he joins Sabbath for their final performance.
That's brilliant.
Isn't it a double dose of Ozzy? You get to hear maybe, Crazy Train, Bark at the Moon, whatever classics he chooses.
Huge songs in their own right.
Absolutely. His solo career is legendary on its own, so fans get that. right before the ultimate reunion. It's like this perfectly planned build-up to the grand finale. Celebrates both sides of his career.
That's really well thought out. Acknowledges the solo legacy before returning to the roots. Very cool.
And the artists themselves, they're buzzing just as much as the fans.
Oh, for sure.
You mentioned Zakk Wylde. His quote about it being like Ozfest on steroids.
Yeah. It just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it?
It really does. It captures the insane lineup, the massive scale, the festival vibe, everything. Ozfest was huge back in the day, a real force.
Defined a generation of metal festivals.
So for this to be Ozfest on steroids, yeah, that tells you everything about how big, how important, how definitive this event feels to everyone involved. It's the ultimate gathering.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, of course, something this massive, with so many moving parts, so many big names, there's always a bit of behind-the-scenes reality, right?
Always. Logistics are a nightmare for these things.
And that includes artists who were initially announced, got people really excited, but then for whatever reason, couldn't actually make the final lineup. It just reminds you how complicated pulling this off really is.
Yeah, it really does highlight the coordination involved. And one of the big what-ifs, the one that made a lot of us music nerds gasp, was Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee from Rush.
Oh, wow, Rush. Imagine that.
Right. Adding that layer of prog royalty, another hugely influential band. It would have been incredible. But sadly, they had to back out. The reason given was just other things came up.
Ah, the classic vague reason.
Pretty standard, yeah. Could be anything, scheduling, personal stuff, but just the idea of them being part of this tribute. It makes you sigh a bit, you know? What could have been.
Definitely a missed opportunity, but it shows the level of respect this event commands, that they were even in the conversation.
Exactly. And another big name who was originally on the bill, got fans excited, but had to pull out was Wolfgang Van Halen.
Right, Wolfie. That would have been great, too, with his family legacy and his own talent.
Yeah, and in his case, the reason was much more specific, very practical. His band, Mammoth WVH, they're opening for Creed over in the U.S. right now.
Ah, scheduling conflict.
Exactly. The logistics of flying over, playing the show, flying straight back, it just wasn't feasible with his touring commitments. It's tough.
Yeah, a real shame.
It really gives you a peek behind the curtain, though. Shows the complex dance of tour schedules, time zones, prior commitments that dictates who can actually be there, even if they desperately want to be. Practicality often wins, unfortunately.
True. Okay, so for everyone listening who wasn't one of the lucky few to grab a ticket in those insane 16 minutes.
Which is most people.
Well, let's be honest. Yeah, probably most of us. Don't worry. Even though Villa Park sold out instantly, becoming one of the hottest tickets imaginable, there is a way for fans all over the world to be part of this. The organizers really listened.
They really did. Sharon Osbourne put out a statement about it, actually. She talked about the huge demand from fans globally who couldn't get tickets.
Yeah.
She said basically people were all over social media pleading for them to broadcast it live. And because it's such a historic event, she said, we just couldn't let them down.
That's fantastic. Really shows they care about the wider fan base.
It really does. Shows that connection they still have after all these years. It's a great response.
So because of that massive demand, and because they want everyone, everywhere, to see this farewell, the whole thing, all 10.5 hours, is being streamed online, pay-per-view.
Making it globally accessible.
Exactly. Doesn't matter where you are, Tokyo, Toronto, Berlin, wherever you can witness this as it happens, it turns it from just a concert into this huge, shared global experience.
And there are some key details people need for the stream. You listening, grab a pen, maybe.
Yeah, go on.
The raw stream starts at 3.0000000 a.m. Eastern, 7.0000 a.m. Pacific in North America, so plan your day.
Okay, 3 p.m. UK time.
Now, there will be a 3-hour broadcast delay, so what you're seeing is slightly behind the live action.
Standard practice for big live shows, right? For quality control.
Exactly. Fix glitches, smooth things out for the global feed. But here's the really good bit for flexibility. If you buy the stream, you get exclusive access to watch the whole thing again for another 48 hours after the live broadcast ends.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So if you can't watch live or just want to rewatch epic moments, and there will be plenty, you've got 2 whole days.
Nice. And who's handling the production?
It's being produced and distributed by Mercury Studios. They're a big name known for quality music productions and live events, so it should look and sound great.
Good to know. So they're taking it seriously.
Definitely. Kelly Sweeney, who's the managing director at Mercury, put out a statement saying how proud they are to capture this monumental milestone. She said their goal is to deliver music history being made straight to fans worldwide.
Sounds like they get it. It's not just another broadcast. It's documenting history.
Precisely. It's planned not just for the people in the stadium, but for the millions watching globally, making sure this moment is captured and shared properly.
So there we have it. We've walked through this incredible event, Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning.
Yeah.
It really is the ultimate send-off for the band, for Ozzy.
Yeah.
A proper full-circle moment back in Birmingham, absolutely packed with metal royalty paying tribute, and just undeniable proof of their huge, lasting influence. It's more than a concert. It feels like a historical marker, a final, massive statement.
It really does. And if you sort of zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This isn't just an ending, is it? It's this powerful confirmation of Sabbath's foundational impact on, well, everything heavy. Their sound wasn't just influential, it created the blueprint.
Yeah, true.
So it brings up this really interesting, almost philosophical question, doesn't it? What does it actually mean when a band that literally changed music, that basically invented a genre, has such a final, definitive, globally shared farewell like this? And what does their massive legacy, ending with this unique full-circle event, tell us about where heavy metal goes next? Or even where music itself is headed? When a force like that steps down, does it leave a gap? Or does it maybe push the next generation to build even higher on what they started?
Wow. Deep questions. Definitely something to think about as we head into this historic weekend. Whether you're lucky enough to be there or watching from home, hope you're ready to see some history being made.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into a truly monumental moment.